haven't seen these guys in, I don't know. Well, I haven't seen the real Chainsmokers in at least like 2 years. I have my little run in with the fake Chainsmokers. We're getting to all this. Alex, Drew, how are you and where are you guys at right now?
You know, I could be better, to be honest. I'm in LA right now, and it's just things are just not great.
Let it out. Let it out.
Not good. My sink in my bathroom is broken, and I'm very frustrated because it just little things like that, man. You know,
Drew, did you know that Alex was having such a time with his sink in his bathroom? Is this going to affect the upcoming tours and whatnot?
No, but you know how he is. He likes to come on these shows and just invent, you know, and just get
these fingernails. They're dirty.
That's a real man's work. Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, Drew, how are you? Where are you?
I'm at my house now. It's tough, man. Trying to get back to normal a little bit, but it's hard out here.
Too much spin the bottle on the weekends.
No
I know, I love that game though.
I guess it's safe to say this countdown's going to be fun because the Chainsmokers, they are having a day. I was going to ask you guys, how has your overall pandemic experience been? Because you took a hiatus from social media and you went into like a creative space and whatnot.
Jokes aside, COVID was, obviously a really challenging time for everybody. For us in particular, I feel like, we made the best of it. We went away intentionally before COVID happened. And, our goal was to create an amazing album. And we had a lot of time to do that. But of course, like a lot of the challenges, and part of writing an album is being inspired and, seeking out creativity and, in life. And obviously when you're in a pandemic, it's kind of challenging to do that. But lucky for us, we have an amazing group of friends and we all kind of like created our own, I feel like a lot of people did this. They created their own like mini tribes. And they just like all hung out with each other and had fun. And, we managed to make the best of it. But I was like reflecting on this earlier. And I think that like, it was a really interesting 2 years. I feel like we really grew up a lot and, accomplished a lot of things. Like for me personally, it was like a really good year of learning. I feel like we dove into a couple of things that really like broadened our horizons and taught us a lot, expanded our, kind of what our world is. And we're really excited to be back. I mean, it's been nice. I don't know if any, when you like see a girl that's like, hey, I'm jumping off Instagram for like 3 days to like clear my mind. 3 days is not enough time to clear your mind off Instagram. Let me tell you, I feel like the first 6 months, you're like watching your followers disappear and you're like, everyone's going to forget everything. And you're like, dude, taking photos of it. And you're like, I don't even know why I'm taking photos of this. I can't post, I'm not posting it anywhere. And then like 6 months after that, you're kind of like, it like breaks free and you're like, I just don't care and miss this at all. And like, we still had Instagram. So we were like the stalkers watching people, but not actually posting. But I feel like it's really freeing. Like I recommend it to anyone that, especially like while they're in a moment of creativity. Like I get why Ed Sheeran does it, when he goes out and writes albums, it kind of like alleviates this pressure to like keep people up. And also like it was a pandemic. Like we weren't like, how many photos do you want to see of us in our like sweatpants, around their house? So.
That is a fair point. And by the way, to your house, your homeowner's note, we had a pipe break in our house. And our entire house, we basically last year, our house was gutted. It was just, homeowning is not what is, it's a mess at times. Adulting is pain. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
These things aren't built that great, it's just.
But look at Drew. He's so happy. No issues over there at all. Right.
I bought a newer house.
You. Hey, Drew, let me just jump to you. This album, well, both you guys really, but this album, I know there's not a whole lot you can say to me now because everything is very top secret, very James Bond. I know we got the track High, which we'll play in a minute, but all I know, and comment where you guys can, I believe you went to Hawaii. I saw those pics. Creative process. You guys said you brought your family in. I'm not sure when you mean family, who is family, but you brought some people in. You guys are like, I think I saw Drew lying on the ground once with a mic in his hand. Like it was just, super relaxed, chill studio session. Alex is over there yelling about his house and getting crazy. I don't know what was this process like getting this album together?
Well, at the end of 2019, we had finished our third album and finished our second like big North American arena tour. And we were just like felt really exhausted and worn out and not like, I feel like we both like had this mutual feeling that was we need to like stop and refocus on some stuff. And instead of like taking a vacation, Alex and I we love what we do. So we love to work and we're like, let's go to Hawaii. We've never like spent like any like a long period of time there and just go get a house for 2 weeks. And let's bring our, our friend, like some of our closest friends, like Emily Warren, who was a songwriter that we've worked with forever, and also like one of our best friends, and Ian Kirkpatrick, who's an amazing, one of the best producers, as well as Wheathen. And we just went and we're like, let's just go and surf all day and chill at the beach. And if we make some stuff, great, but there was no pressure to do that. So, and for the first 5 days, we did just like hang out and talk and drink and have fun and surf and all the stuff you do in Hawaii. And then we just like got onto this like really great vibe, and we listened to so much music that like inspired us, that we loved. And like 4 or 5 days in, we just started, we wanted to make stuff, and we ended up making like 13 songs, or 13 like kind of demos that became the backbone of this album. And then spent the next 2 years after that just finishing the whole thing. And it was amazing. I mean, like, being able to have that much time to make music is something that we've never had before. I mean, as you know, we've always been putting out albums, honestly, like in the form of singles, like a single every 6 weeks. And this is the first time we've had like all this time to go in, write songs, rewrite them, tear apart parts that we thought were weak, sit on them for a while, play them for friends, like really get a ton of feedback on it. And I don't think either of us has been more inspired.
I mean, Alex, do you feel like you know Drew better now after this little, I guess it was intended to be a vacation, but of course, 4 or 5 days into it, you guys are back producing, going crazy, but in a good space. Do you feel like you guys know each other better now?
It's not good, man. It's just like, we're about to embark on this new album, and it's just, we're not in a good place at all. No, I feel like, honestly, the first 8 years of our career, there's not a lot we didn't do together. And I know where your mind's wandering, and yes, that is one of those things. We're like brothers. I mean, we've had fist fights. We argue like when we feel like it, but I think like there's such a mutual respect, and there's no ego involved, where we're always kind of aligned on things. And
wait, there was a fist fight between you guys? I mean, not to dwell on that.
There's been like three big ones. But they're always like, but we make up right away after. It's not like, we don't talk to each other for 3 months, and then like it's not like the Beatles doc where like they got to go to George's house and talk things out. By the way, not comparing ourselves to the Beatles for anyone out there listening. That was not intentional. Recently watched the show. But yeah, I mean, this was a crazy process of like working a lot differently. Like there are times when I would think like a song was amazing, and then I'd like come back like the next day and Drew would have like ripped it apart, and I'd be like, what the you know what I mean? And then I'd like listen to it and I'd be like, you were right. You know what I mean? So it's like it's like a mutual trust in each other.
Whose idea was it to bring on, if you guys missed the whole fake Chainsmokers promo thing they did, whose idea was it for the fake Chainsmokers? How'd this whole thing come up?
I remember like it wasn't a particular person. Like I remember it was like us, our buddy Chris.
I think it's really the internet.
Yeah. It was definitely the internet. But like the idea, I remember we were sitting in the studio being like, what do we leave with? Like, what is the first thing people see, from the Chainsmokers after 2 years? Like, it's such an important moment. Is it a sound? Is it a photo of us? And then we like realized that it was just like, we'll just use 2 random dudes. And it was brilliant because the internet had done such a great job building this narrative for us that any 2 white guys can be the Chainsmokers. And, we kind of just like, we love it. We're self-deprecating. Like, you can't laugh at the jokes that people make about you, then like, what's the point of living? And, we think it's hysterical, and it was awesome getting those guys. But, you'll love this. Like, before we considered these 2 amazing comedians to replace us, we had considered a lot of other famous actors, and the list is long and vast. And we went out to people like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
I don't know why we argued against our team. We're like, can you guys please not go after these people? Like, I can't. Like, we don't have any expectation that they would ever say yes, but now we have to deal with, hey man, Matt Damon said no. Yeah, Ben Affleck's out too. We're like, duh. Yeah, now we're getting this unnecessary rejection from all these guys we really respect.
We were really hoping for Michael Cera and Jonah Hill. That was like our, that was like the be all end all. We could get those guys back on screen together to do this, because they're kind of like the famous meme that like first started it all. But yeah, they passed, so that didn't happen.
More questions about the fake Chainsmokers, because I found this whole thing you guys did was so genius. Was anyone really fooled? Because I know they did the rounds doing some interviews as, hey, new Chainsmokers coming out, and these 2 guys pop up. And granted, if you guys, obviously I'm going to know because I've talked to you guys quite a few times over the years. But did somebody get fooled by this? Was anyone like, God,
I don't want to call out the people at Sirius XM, but like, no, I'm just kidding. You know, honestly, like, I don't know. Cause like, I didn't see like the initial, you know what I mean, moment, but what I really wanted to do was like fully sell it and like have like Adam and like people on our team come with them to the studio and like really, you know, like like I think in that situation, like we totally could have convinced people. I mean, people mess up all the time. Like I'm just standing at like a Chick-fil-A with another white person trying to buy Chick-fil-A, and it's like, oh, can I get a picture with you too? And it's like, I'm just like, just go with it, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like let's just do it. So yeah, I think that a couple people probably like initially maybe, but I don't want to put anyone on the spot.
That is hilarious. Maybe a little too early to ask about this because I know the album's not even out yet. Won't be out for a little while, but you know, I guess I don't even know when the album's coming out, but tour talks. Are we talking tour? You know, we got that, you know, the residency aside, are we talking like a tour at all, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, we're still planning that out right now. I mean, it's really tough to book a tour right now. You know, we've been lucky that everything kind of calmed down last summer and we were able to play in Vegas, which was like perfect because we didn't have any new music out. That was kind of the perfect format show for us to do. And we want to go back into arenas and do festivals again. But, you know, we'll see where the world's at this summer. I think, you know, I hope it's going to be great, but who knows what's going to happen. But I mean, our first priority is get in front of our fans and put on a killer show. So as soon as that can happen, I mean, we have like our poor agent has rerouted like our tour 7 times.
I can imagine.
I know, poor guy. So yeah, as soon as it can happen, it's going to happen.
I can see your booking agent, you know, look, he's probably in a room that looks like one of those crime lab rooms where they have the string. Yeah. Like, what the heck? Hey, there was a study that was released a couple of months back or whatever it was, most popular groups of the last decade. And you guys were in the top, I think 1 was Imagine Dragons, 2 was One Direction. You guys came in 3rd. That's pretty big. I mean, I forget who did the study. That's pretty dang cool. If it was your mom and she put you in 3rd, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I mean, that's
make it believable.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, what's your reaction to that?
I mean, that's unbelievable. I didn't actually see that. I can't believe it. I mean, it's an honor to be on any list at all. And we're grateful. I mean, I think that it's just so cool to see that our music has touched so many people. And, you know, I think that's what makes us so excited about this next album, just because we feel like it's the best music we've ever made. And, you know, a big part of what this next album means for us and all this new music is that, you know, I feel like you know, we were lucky enough to have the hits we did, and they reached so far and wide and so many people of different ages and so many different countries. But you kind of like lose sight of like at some point, like who you're actually talking to and having who you know, who are the fans that, you know, were there in the Roses days in the beginning. And I think with this album, it's so important for us. I mean, we obviously hope our songs reach everybody and everyone loves them, but we want to go like deeper rather than wider. And I think that's what's really exciting to us is like getting back to the core of what made people fall in love with the Chainsmokers and elevate that with this album. And I think we had the time to do that, and we were really thoughtful in that approach. So we're super excited, and hopefully we can make, you know, next decade's list at you know, number 2 or 3, 1 even maybe.
maybe your mom can put you at least at 2 next time, you know, if your mom wasn't the one that did that survey there. Let's do this track. High is the first single from this upcoming new album. I mean, everybody's, you know, going crazy over this track. What do people need to know about High?
This is, I mean, we're super excited about this song. I feel like we combined all of our favorite genres currently. It you know, it has the backbone of like a dance record, I think, but it's very alternative. It's very punk. It's very trap. Has a crazy dance break in the end. It was super fun to make. It's been through so many iterations where like saying, I feel like the lyrics are very Chainsmoker in style, talking about little small moments. And yeah, this is like the connective tissue to our album. You know, we made our whole album and then made singles as kind of the bridge between that and this body of work we made. And so we're really excited. This is like you're pressing play on this next chapter of our career.
And the video has a bit of an, I don't know if it was on purpose or by accident, but a bit of an homage to an old Twilight Zone reference.
Yeah, that's the exact reference. I'm glad you got that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if, I saw that. I'm a big horror movie, scary movie, you know, super fan. And that was just cool. And I mean, I bet the green screen, you know, the behind the scenes green screen clips of Drew falling everywhere. And I bet that's just hilarious and crazy and
This
wow.
entire
This great clip of Drew just getting dropped on his face for like an hour. And it's just like over and over and over and over again. And, you know, one of the few parts of the shoot that I just thoroughly thought was really fun.
Well, Alex, how come you didn't get dropped on your head, or did you? Maybe.
I got taped to a seat, and they kept.
That's true.
And they kept ripping the tape off my mouth. Like it was like he was intentionally messing up this shot, so he could just continually rip.
I got my payback.
Yeah,
the video. Alex, I guess you can't duct tape. You can't green screen getting duct taped. I guess they just duct tape.
No, that was real. That was real duct tape. I did that myself.
2-part question. What is your personal best performance? I mean, this performance everything was amazing. And the complete flip of that, what do you consider your worst? Everything went straight to hell. Give me one of each.
I'd say best performance was, I think, would you say like Ballads and Sound? Or like that one was amazing, or that I think we did that big festival in Montreal, or Quebec.
Yeah.
One in Quebec. Oh my God, we did this
like
Quebec
Fest, I think.
Yeah, they do they basically, it's like a 14-day festival. They have like a different headline act. I think like Shawn Mendes played the night before us. They have a Bruce Springsteen the night after. It was like it's a bunch of different genres, and very, very sick. And it was like they have this like long big hill that like goes up for a super long ways. I think they had like 65,000 people, but the way you could see all of them, which is great, because usually most like festival grounds you can like, you know, gets out there, it's all flat, you can't see after a while, but you could see everybody. I remember just playing this intro, and we had like a nice hybrid set, which is like Alex and I primarily DJing, me singing on our songs, and then Matt comes up on a riser and plays drums. It's probably our most like energetic set that we do. And just like as soon as like the first drop in the intro hit, these kids just started like firing off fireworks in the middle of the crowd, and then just moshing on top of them. We were like, this is going to be one for the books. And it was like a great just 90-minute to 2-hour show. That one really stands out. There's been so many good ones, but that one is most recently was exceptional.
What a rush. Okay, give me the flip of that now. Everything went straight to hell. That one was perfect. Give me one where everything just went, yeah.
We played a show in New York on the end of our, I think it was Memories Do Not Open tour. And it was like we had 2 nights there, both sold out. And it was like, but the problem was, this is like the first outdoor show. And our whole tour had been like in arenas, which are like very controlled environments. Like, you know, there's no wind, there's no rain, there's no anything. And we had we definitely like overcompensated on this tour in terms of like production. And we paid the price dearly on this night. And it was just like everything that could go wrong. Like screens don't go up, like wind's moving things forward. Like, you know, like it was kind of like the last show too. So I feel like everyone had kind of like also taken a break mentally. Like they were just like, oh, everything else has gone fine. And it was just like, you know, guitars weren't plugged in. Like, you know, the thing that rolls out just like stops a quarter of the way out, and then you have to like push it out. And it was just like one of those shows where you're like, what the and the thing you have to remind yourself though is that like in your head, you're like, this is the worst news ever. You know what I mean? And reality is like so many times in the crowd, you just don't notice it. Like I've gone to tons of music shows, and person afterwards like, oh, I screwed up this part. And I'm like, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. And I, you know, the other one that sticks out to me is we had these amazing, you know, show designers that do our visuals, but one of the show designers was from, I believe Barcelona or Germany.
He was from Germany.
And at the end of every show, we put up like a big thing that says like, thank you, whatever city we're in. And he spelled Pittsburgh wrong. And
he spelled it without the H because like where he's from there, they don't have the silent H.
Yeah. So
and like every news program was just, people love to just rip on us.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know how this was such devastating news, but everyone was just like, the whole country was making fun of us for.
But the show was so good. And so like you're standing up at the end being like, thank you. And then it's just like behind you don't even know it. It's just like this big middle finger to the crowd, basically.
Dude, I've been there. Oh my God. Fellas, you guys know I'm obsessed with the paranormal, ghost, UFOs. I've got a podcast called Paranormalish. I've had clips of us talking about the paranormal on the podcast. I've heard some of your paranormal stories. If you have any new ones, I would love to always hear them. But I do have a favor, a paranormal favor I want to ask you guys. When you're mapping this next tour out, whenever, the dates aren't set at this point, obviously. but I would love to have you guys request a haunted room from time to time. There's going to be some hotels you're jumping into that are haunted. I would love for you guys to request those rooms and let me know what happens, especially if you stay at the rave or if you play the rave in Milwaukee.
We've stayed there. We stayed. I was just going to bring that up. What's that hotel called?
I think it's the Ambassador. Is that right?
Yeah, the Ambassador Hotel. I didn't sleep a single. I like that was the Jeffrey the Dahmer Hotel.
That's it, exactly. Yeah.
Because he used to like lure like men from the bar up into a room, and then or the first person he killed, I think he met at the bar there, and then brought them upstairs and hacked them up, and then carried them out in duffel bags. And then he
pretty wild story, yeah.
Repeatedly go there and meet like guys at the bar and bring them back to his grandmother's house, and
crazy
in their basement.
Jesus Lord. Well, I would if I
brought it up.
Yeah, I did. My fault. I want to go there with you guys. I want to take a trip to the Ambassador Hotel.
Never going back.
You wouldn't.
Hell no.
What? Just a video cam, a recorder, all that stuff. You know.
Also, the rave is haunted. The venue.
Oh yeah.
Like I know Marilyn Manson like got in an altercation with the spirit and like lit the dressing room on fire, and then it was a men's club and like 3 kids got sucked into the drain and died. It's like just a spooky block.
AJR told me their furniture was stacked up in the dressing room. Like they walked in, everything's fine. 30 seconds later, they walk out, back in. The furniture, it's crazy. I'll tell you that story. It's pretty well. All right. What are the biggest misconceptions about the Chainsmokers? I mean, I'm sure people think you guys are Here's what I'm guessing. People think you guys are partiers because you do a lot of club gigs and whatnot, and it's just the perception is a wild life. I'm guessing you guys are as boring as me.
I mean, the last 2 years, we're boring. We're fun. I mean, I think like on some level, it's like I think that it's funny. We have like such a serious business side to us where we have a tequila company called Haha. We have a fund called Mantis where we invest in new technology and founders and then we have real estate holding business. And I think like this is like one side of us, but like we're very much like work hard, play hard mentality. So like, what's the point of, busting your ass and you can't enjoy yourself? And, we love hanging with friends and being social. Like the hospitality side of our job is like one of our favorite parts, getting to meet new people. So, I guess on some level, like we are party guys, but we're like
that's your business. Yeah. Good point. So
we're like a lady in the streets, but a freak in the sheets. It's like,
that's the quote. That's the quote. That's where we end on right there. That's genius. 2022. What are your goals for this year? Obviously album coming out later on this year, but what are your goals for 22?
I want to enjoy this year like more than I ever have. Like I think we're about to put out this this work that is like so sincere and it's so us, and I really am hoping that the world's gonna open up for good by the summer, and I really want to be like ready mentally to embrace all of that and not take anything for granted, and be able to go around and see all of our fans and play all this music, and hopefully get to travel a lot like we used to, and really make the most of it. I think pre-pandemic, I think I took a little bit of it for granted and I was overexhausted, and now I know when to say no, and I just am enjoying being with my friends and putting out this music and making the most of that.
Alex, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of on the same page, but I'm just really excited about the opportunity to get back out there and see our fans and share music that we're like just so proud of. And I'd love to continue to work on the more serious stuff we talked about. It's really exciting having the opportunity to invest in new young businesses that are kind of radically change the future. And that stuff's really exciting to be a part of as you get older. And I think just growing and learning, and I have an awesome girlfriend, so life is good.
High is out. Get on it. Album coming out, relatively soon. Details on that to follow. Tour, of course. Tour talks underway right now. What am I forgetting to ask the Chainsmokers?
You're such a good interviewer. I mean, you just cover it all. Maybe just I don't know. Just
maybe that's it. Maybe just
good about it.
There we go. All right. Well,
you didn't ask if I was single.
Drew, are you single? How's the love life?
Yes, I'm single. Help me out.
All right. Well, looking for a someone special for Drew. Anybody wants to apply, send your emails and call me, and I'll set you guys up. All right, fellas, it's really good to see you guys. Really appreciate your time.
Of course. Great to see you, buddy. Thanks for everything.
At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official. Tap that cam.
Boom.
Bye, yeah.
My man.